do have the power to gain control over your circumstances and be able to release this pain and burden that you're carrying. And then this, I don't know what to say. I feel like some of the men that are going to be watching this in the future, either men or maybe more masculine presences, um, I feel like you have a really hard time even putting to words what is actually, what even happened to you growing up and what even was going on with this situation. Or you just don't even know how to respond to it. And in this scenario, you know, sometimes there isn't anything that needs to be said. Some things just need to be felt through and then let go. Um, and again, this might be something that you can work on in therapy as well as being able to, when you're addressing trauma, being able to connect those two sides of your brain that are affected so you can get the language to be able to bring it up to yourself, so that way you can heal it and address it. And yes, it is too late. I feel like this is this can mean multiple things for a couple people, but I feel like the overarching message is it's too late to change anything and it's time that you move on. And it doesn't matter what kind of actions you take with these people. What happened happened. And it's not like you can go back and do anything different. Either in regards to your parents or maybe the relationship that was going on that is reflected in this dynamic, but understand that the past is in the past and that's where it needs to stay. And so letting that go is really going to be necessary for the next step forward. So, okay, so those are your cards. And so finally, I'm going to wrap it up with some messages from Spirit on advice for healing this wound. So, all right, so let's see here. All right, so anything else? Okay. All right. So we're just going to leave it with those cards right there. So we've got 5 cards again. So let's go ahead and flip these over and see what we got. Ooh. Ooh. All right. So I don't know how I'm going to interpret reversals for today. I think I'm just going to kind of wing it and sorry, I had to rub my eyeball. We'll just kind of see if it makes sense to you. Great. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of assume without it. But so the first card we had was Traveling in reverse. We've got Thunderbolt. We've got The Outsider in reverse. We've got Change. And then we've got Fighting in reverse. Yeah, okay, so definitely what I'm picking up on here is, oof, I can almost feel it, especially in my lower back. So for those of you that do practice chakra work or whatever, definitely doing some root chakra healing. Oh God, yeah, root chakra and some solar plexus. Definitely working on those two energy centers would be really useful for you. Um, but in regards to the cards, though, this traveling in reverse, I have a feeling that maybe just getting out of your environment would really be helpful to you because I feel like you're kind of stuck and either you're kind of running from the situation and either you're traveling too much and not taking time to travel within yourself or you're allowing your environment to just kind of stifle you. I feel like it kind of depends. But whichever it works for you, definitely taking some time to focus on when you're journeying, where are you actually journeying to? And trying to make a change that is productive and do productive traveling Either taking some time to go somewhere new to like rest and recover, to really kind of maybe get away from either your family or your friends. I feel like your friends mean well. For this is applying to some of you, but your friends mean well, but they're influencing what's kind of going on in your life, and maybe taking some time to just get a fresh perspective within yourself would really be useful. Especially if you haven't traveled in a while. Try to do something new and exciting, and don't let fear kind of stop you um, from trying that, because you're definitely being called to at least change things up a bit and take a journey in a new direction just for a little bit to kind of clear your mind. This Thunderbolt, so this definitely has given me from traditional tarot the Tower, but basically you're going to have to face that there's some beliefs within yourself that are going to need to be removed in order for you to fully reconcile with this wound. And so this may be a difficult process for some of you. Others, I feel like it's going to be painful at first, but once you start to actually recognize, some of your own uh, negative beliefs that you're either placing on yourself and towards others, it's really going to help release you from this old wound that's been holding you back, and be willing to let yourself fall apart. Because currently, right now, you wouldn't be watching this reading if things were okay with your inner child wound. I can tell you that right now. But allow those old thoughts and old patterns to just kind of dissipate, and the ones that are healthy will stay with you because they benefit you, but the rest of them that aren't, they're going to fall away, and let them. Um, I feel like this card, this outsider card, I feel like you're always telling yourself that you're an outsider, either to yourself or within your friend group or family. And it's like, again, you see like this like little lock on the door that this child's dealing with, and you're locking yourself out from feeling these emotions and connecting with other people. And so working on admitting to yourself that, one, that you're even doing that, because I have a feeling some of you, you don't even realize that you're cutting yourself off from people that are able to help you. Again, I feel like there's like this hyper independence that's kind of going on, where you're so used to doing everything yourself because you always think that, you're locked out. Well, why bother asking for help? And that's not true. It just means you have to find new people to ask for help from. Like, look at this child. The child can go through the gate, you just got to ask someone to unlock the door. And that's what your inner child is asking you to do. Is, if you can't unlock the door yourself, then go ask someone to help. Because they are out there. It's just making sure you pick the right people. Um, and just being even aware of this, I feel, is important for some of you, so that way you can start that healing process of, being more honest with yourself and being able to tackle those emotions. Alright, so next card is Change. So I feel like either it's triggered from this reading or from other things going on in your life. I feel like for some of you, you're already kind of in this process of change, and so this additional clarity is just kind of validating some of the work and putting to words that you're already experiencing. But there's a lot of change coming on. Like, I don't know if you can see with the camera because it's a little blurry, but there's little lightning bolts around this card. I feel like you're kind of in this state that is, as these inner wounds are being exposed to you, it's almost kind of like infueling and invigorating a side of you to kind of get through all this stuff, and like kind of embracing the change is going to be really useful to you, and understanding that sometimes the change feels bad because, you're working through an old pattern that you thought belonged to you and it hurt, but it's not going to last. Definitely, you're changing and moving in a cycle that is going to be coming to an end once you kind of figure out this kind of dynamic, and being able to understand that this is part of a cycle that is not going to continue forever, I think will really help give you the strength to understand that, a lot of people have dynamics like this, and that you're not the only one, and that generationally, you can break this pattern, and, your ancestors are asking you to. because it's necessary in order for you and your children, or, you know, people in your future, it's necessary in order to allow for healthier relationships. So embrace that change and understand that that's just part of the process. And the more you resist it, the harder it'll be to heal. So, like, again, there's this fighting card where I feel like some of you are very aggressive as a result of this dynamic. Or you're aggressive either with yourself or fighting the situation. And I feel like this being in reverse is kind of telling, because I feel like for some of you, you just need to learn to stop fighting. Either fighting with your parents, fighting with your significant others, fighting with yourself. It's almost like, you know, you're constantly in this battle, either within how you're feeling or with other people, because you're subconsciously, you know, feeling like you're doing everything yourself. And it's just like, take a break. Understand that, like, look at this person's knuckles, you know? They're like completely gray, and it's from, you know, fighting so much. And this card is kind of reminding you that, you know, sometimes there's a time and place to fight and to pick and choose your battles, and being able to release that anger in a healthier dynamic would be beneficial to you, as well as knowing what is worth putting your energy into. Um, but yeah, so anyways, guys, that's the reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you gained something valuable out of it. I know I really enjoyed doing this reading, so like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's reading, and leave comments down below if this really resonated with you. I always love hearing your feedback, so thank you guys again. Bye!